Here's more wrestling news for October 18th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include WWE adds 2 matches to the next NXT 2.0, triple threat match added to this week's WWE NXT 2.0, released WWE wrestlers NJPW debut is officially announced, CM Punk's hilarious reaction to beer in crowd at AEW Dynamite goes viral, retired WWE and WCW wrestler wants to have a legit retirement match, Impact Wrestling set to pay tribute to Daffney, Samoa Joe is King Shark in new Suicide Squad video game trailer, Roman Reigns says WWE goes through extreme precautions when he's traveling, and more. We are kicking off with NXT 2.0 as tomorrow's show will see the paint-splattered brand continue on the road to Halloween Havoc, with several matches announced for the card. At Halloween Havoc, NXT Women's Tag Team Champions Io Shirai and Zoe Stark will face Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta, as well as Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jayne, so tomorrow's show will have one woman from each team face off in a triple threat match. There's no confirmation which member from each team will compete, but we do know that Odyssey Jones will take on Andre Chase in singles action. Tony D'Angelo will also be in action, while NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker will face off against the grizzled young veterans, though we doubt the champion and his challenger will see eye-to-eye tomorrow night on NXT 2.0. This year, Buddy Murphy was cut from WWE despite putting on excellent matches on 205 Live, and now we know where he's going next. Since his release, Murphy has changed his name to Buddy Matthews, and during the recent New Japan Showdown taping in Philadelphia, it was announced that the former Cruiserweight champion is on his way to the promotion. Matthews will be debuting in the Battle in the Valley event, which will take place in San Jose, California on November 13th, in what'll be a huge show both for him and the company. Matthews has previously hinted that he'll be heading to Impact, and it's been reported by the Wrestling Observer newsletter that he's already signed a contract. But we know for certain that the ex-superstar is heading to New Japan next month. Over to AEW as CM Punk appeared at last weekend's Dynamite and was given a very interesting offering made by a fan. Slapping hands with fans as he made his way to the ring, one member of the crowd held out a beer close to the straight-edge former WWE champion, who kept a cautious distance away from the alcoholic beverage. It's hard to say if Punk was trying to avoid the drink or just avoid it being spilled, but regardless, it made for a hilarious moment where Punk looked visibly concerned over the cup of beer in a clip which quickly went viral. This isn't the first time Punk's had to fight off beer in AEW, as a fan offered him a drink during the pre-All Out Rampage, which Punk politely declined. We'll have to see if this becomes a running trend for AEW fans, as the former WWE World Champion is 2-0 when it comes to avoiding beer in AEW, and is looking to keep that record going in the coming years. We're focusing on WWE Hall of Famer Medusa next, as her career both in and out of the company certainly earned her an induction in 2015. A former WWF Women's Champion, Medusa also held the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, but despite her legendary career, the Hall of Famer is yet to have an official retirement match. Speaking to Fight's women's wrestling talk show, Medusa said she feels like she deserves a retirement match and added, "I don't care if it's 3 minutes or if it's an hour long, I deserve one, and every federation knows I have it out there. Hello Impact, hello AEW, hello WWE, hello NWA, hello ROH, hello Impact, whatever, right? And so, it's out there and I would definitely have a retirement match." Medusa went on to say that she'll need to be in the ring with someone far younger than herself, who she'd rely on to carry the match, and explained why, saying, "What I mean by that is, no disrespect to myself, is that if I were to forget something and I need someone to take care of my body, because I'm not 20. I mean, you have to be real, you know? I'm much older than Trish and Lita. You know, I could be both of your mother, you know? Yeah, and you'd have to be somebody that would take care of me in that match. And of course, likewise." Now aged 57 years old, Medusa's last official match in the ring, except her WWE Evolution Battle Royal appearance, was at WCW Fall Brawl 2000, where she and Billy Kidman lost to Shane Douglas and Tori Wilson, and the Hall of Famer is looking for one last match before hanging up her boots for good. Last month, wrestling legend Daffney tragically died after a disturbing live stream in which she openly discussed taking her own life. Her death was a stark reminder about the seriousness of mental health, and several people in the wrestling world paid tribute to her after her passing. Impact Wrestling have announced that next week's Impact in 60 will be themed around Daffney, as she worked there for years, and the episode will air on October 28th on AXS TV. Impact previously honored Daffney at the Knockouts Knockdown event earlier this month, as the show opened with a tribute and a Monsters Ball match happened in her honor, and now fans will be able to rewatch some of Daffney's best moments in Impact next week. Gaming news, as there won't be a WWE 2K game until next year, but 2K22 won't be the only game next year featuring Samoa Joe. At last weekend's DC Fandome, a new trailer was released for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, in which the three-time former NXT champion will be voicing King Shark. The game will see DC veteran villain Brainiac, who has brainwashed the Justice League, and it's up to the Suicide Squad, featuring the likes of King Shark, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and others, to save the world. DC Fandome also saw a sneak preview of Black Adam, the new film starring The Rock, as well as a trailer for the Peacemaker series on HBO Max, which will see John Cena return to the role. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will release next year for Windows, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, and time will tell if King Shark can lock any Justice League member in the coquina clutch in his efforts to save the world from Brainiac. As a multi-time WWE World Champion and with decades in WWE alone, The Undertaker has a cloud of clout in the company, and rightfully so. Even in 2000, just one decade into his run, the Phenom had a lot of sway backstage and was even able to talk Vince McMahon into title changes. That's according to The Godfather at least, who appeared on an episode of It's My Wrestling Podcast and said how he was unhappy in 2000 and would have quit the industry had his Bone Street Crew brother not spoke with Vince McMahon. He said, "I was like, dude, I'm out of here. I think Taker went to Vince and said, I'm getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden they dropped the belts on me. And I had loyalty. I'm not gonna run out with the belts. As soon as they got those belts off of us, then I finished that because I really wasn't having fun." The belts in question were the WWF Tag Team titles, which the Goodfather and Bull Buchanan, then members of the Right to Censor, won from the Hardys in November that year. The Godfather doesn't have many positives to say about his time in RTC and hasn't returned to being the good father in the 20 years since the group split, but he would have left WWE much sooner had The Undertaker not got him a tag team title run after just one conversation with the boss. Over the summer, it was reported that WWE had been considering bringing back themes for its television shows to help boost ratings. At the time, King of the Ring and Raw Roulette were two themes reportedly being talked about. WWE did bring back King of the Ring earlier this month in addition to the Queen's Crown tournament, with both finals taking place this Thursday at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view event. Andrew Zarian from the Batman Pro Wrestling podcast reported today that the Retro Raw theme will be used sometime in January 2022. It's still unclear when, or even if, WWE will bring back the Raw Roulette concept, which started in 2002 and was last used in 2013. NXT has used a similar concept, Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal, with its Halloween Havoc special. WWE has already confirmed the stipulation for the Mandy Rose vs. NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez match at Halloween Havoc on October 27th will be decided by this gimmick. More on WWE and their interesting ideas, as fans can expect WWE to make some more changes to Karrion Kross's character, which has become the norm for him since being called up from NXT to the main roster a few months ago. WrestleVotes reported today that WWE is shifting his character once again, with the plan for him to be more of a psycho, yet still calm and cool. He will keep his helmet, which is used during his entrance, but the presentation, including his theme music, will be different. However, WWE still doesn't plan to bring Scarlett back to TV with him just yet. At one point, there had been talk that Kross was going to lose a bunch of matches, and then Scarlett would be the one to help him turn things around. Earlier this month, during an appearance on Devon Dudley's Table Talk podcast, Kross hinted that there's something that needs to play out before Scarlett makes her main roster debut. Now in early 2020, Roman Reigns took an extended hiatus from WWE as he didn't want to put his health or the health of his family at risk in a time when positive cases were on the rise. After his leukemia diagnosis less than 2 years prior, no one could blame the father of five, and fans wouldn't see him again until SummerSlam 2020, WWE's first night in the Thunderdome. Now Reigns is the unquestionable top star of WWE, and in an interview with Bleacher Report, the Tribal Chief explained how serious everyone takes things now that the company is back on tour. He said, "I do not miss travel. Saudi Arabia is the only place I've left the country for, and that's just because it's such an isolated one-off, in and out on a private jet, 16 hours, knock out the show, back on the jet, 16 hours, all by myself. We go through extreme precautions to make it all safe for me and to make me feel comfortable. Reigns didn't go on the recent tour of the UK and is still taking things seriously, as he masked up while brawling in the crowd at last month's Extreme Rules. After a year away from fans, it's great to see WWE back on the road again, but the Tribal Chief is keeping cautious now that the Thunderdome is gone. And we're ending with Kayla Braxton, who's been a fixture of WWE programming for some time now and is celebrating a major anniversary. On social media, Braxton announced last night that it's been 5 years since Michael Cole hired her to the company and advised fans to flood the commentator's Twitter page, telling him he made the right decision. NXT UK is also celebrating its 3-year anniversary, and in a tweet, thanked the superstars and those who work behind the scenes for putting the show together. And we'll have to see what the UK brand does next as things slowly get back to normal. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.